This time around, we are talking about simple equation. Simple equation is also one of the fundamental stone, the foundational stone in mathematics, whether in economics, in different subjects where calculation is involved. From my observation, I've seen that most of other subjects where calculations are involved, even if they don't go deep into the aspect of mathematics, but simple equation is just inclusive, especially in economics and some other subjects like that, where you do simple calculations. And it's that simple, yet it's very difficult for many people to handle. I will start with the simplest form of it. So let me just give you, for example, a very good simple example like 2x equal to 4. I'm looking find x in a question like this. You will wonder, just find x. It's this simple. How do I look for x now? It's very simple. You will see that the number that is attached to x here, which is the coefficient, number attached to x, staying side by side with s, staying side by side with s is actually what? 2, and it's called the coefficient. Whenever we have it directly on an equation like this, the simple process is divide both sides by 2. Divide both sides by 2, because whatever you do on one side of an equation, that's why we call it equation. Equation in the sense that whatever you do on the right hand side is what you will do on the left hand side. That's why we call it equation. So it's called an equation also because it has equality sign. Don't forget that. Now, this is the question. 2x equal to 4. The next stage, make sure your mathematics is progressing, not just make it very clumsy. You should be progressing. Equal to 4. Divide both sides by 2. Because we want to remove that 2 that is attached to that unknown you are looking for, which is x in this case. This is the simple process. You cancel out. Now add x equal to 4 over 2, of which you know that 4 will go into 2. 2 will go into 4 2 times. It's as simple as that. X is equal to what? 2 for what you are seeing. It's that simple. That's why we call it a simple equation. So wherever way it comes, it is always like that. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. Let me just use alphabet to explain what I'm saying further. Okay, let me assume I'm having ax equal to b. I want to use alphabet. I'm saying the same thing, but you're going to see that I'm using alphabet to explain what I am talking about. Find x in the first case. If I'm looking for s, you will know automatically what is attached to my s here is a. I'm going to use to divide both sides. So it's a x equal to b. Divide both sides by a because a is attached to my x. So my x is equal to b over a. It cannot go beyond that. You all know that. This same question, I can also ask you to look for a, and it doesn't change anything. Find x and e. So I can also look for a in this case. In the case of a, I will now say ax equal to b. Then I will now say ax equal to b. Divide both sides by x, because s in this case is the one that is attached to a, which is the coefficient of a. S is the coefficient of a. Is the one that is coefficient. Is the one that is attached to a. We divide both sides. What we now have left is a equal to b over s. So if you check closely, you will see that what we applied in the first example, example 1, is the same thing we applied here. It didn't change. Example 2. So we applied it in both cases where we are dealing with the alphabet here. So the principle of simple equation has never changed, and it will not change. And that is why mathematics, I deem it as a very easy subject that so many people are scared of, and they look at it as something very, very big. But this is just a simple principle that you must understand, and make sure you memorize this principle and know that whenever you come across mathematics like this is the next stage for you to follow. Having known this, I will progress to the next stage. The next stage will now be the one that is not just directly on the equality side. I want to give you an example where we need to collect like terms. 2x plus 5 equal to 8. Let me start with this simple one. Example 3. Let me start with this simple one. In this case, we need to collect like terms. Collect like terms. Doing this, I am going to bring the unknown should be on one side, while the numbers that I don't have unknown should be on the other side. And when we are doing this, please don't forget. Don't forget. Don't forget. If you are doing that arrangement, whenever you are moving from the original position to the other side of the equality side, whatever you are moving from the original position of the question to the other side of the equation, whatever you are moving, if it was carrying minus before, it becomes plus. If it was carrying plus before, it becomes minus. The sign must change. The sign must change. So we now have 2x in this case. 5 is the one that will move at this time for convenience, so that we can have 2x remaining on this side of the equation. So we now have 8 minus 5. Don't forget, it's 8 that it's the 5 you are moving, not 8. So the sign of 5 is the one that will change. In my previous video of algebra, I told you of the numbers that the sign that goes along with number is always coming before the number, like you can see here. It was plus 5 here, now it's minus 5 here. So we now have 2x equal to, we now have plus 8 minus 5. If you pay 5 for what you are weighing 5 and you are having 8, you will discover that you will still be having 3 left over, which makes it plus 3 or 3. It makes it 3 because you will still be having 3 left over. Then, this is the stage we have gotten to now, which has taken us to the first stage of simple equation I taught you. Automatically, I guess you know what to do here. We divide both sides by 2. We divide both sides by 2. When we divide both sides by 2, we are going to have x 3 over 2. This is exactly what x is all about. So, you will see that from here, we've been able to collect our like terms and follow all these procedures. If you are able to follow procedures like this in mathematics, you are sure to get your answer. And don't forget, as you are doing this, you are collecting like terms. I want to repeat again that you must know when the signs are changing. This is the original question. Getting to this place, we have moved 5 from this side of the equation. It has crossed equality sign. So it has become minus here now. So this is how we are going to apply the procedures. I will just do another example on this again as the last one for this other aspect of simple equation. Example 4. Let me now say 2x minus 5 equal to 8x plus 3. If I'm doing this, I'm still going to collect like terms like I did in the previous example. Collect like terms. 2x, I'm bringing 8 this way. Remember, it's not carrying sign. It's carrying invisible plus. So it becomes 8x. Remember, this one is here before. I'm taking it this way. 3 remaining here on this side of the equation. Now it was minus here. It becomes plus on this other side. Then, now, this one will now take us to the some of the videos I've posted before. They have to do with algebra. 2x minus 8x. Automatically, you know you are dealing with, you are having 2 and you are owing 8. If you do that calculation, you are going to have minus 6x. If you don't know how we arrive at this, check my video on algebra. The first video on algebra, you'll see how this one was done. Then we'll now have plus 3 plus 5 will give us plus 8. The next stage is what is attached to x, like we started in our simple equation. What is attached to x is minus 6. Use it to divide both sides of the equation, both the minus and 6. Now, we are first of all going to divide the minus. Minus divided minus is what? Plus. 6 will cancel 6, so we now have x equal to 8 divided by minus 6. And don't forget, in that algebra that I taught earlier that has to do with division, I also talked about this. Now 8 is having invisible plus. It's having invisible plus. The first thing we do is plus divide minus will give us what? Minus. Now what can reduce this fraction is 2. 2 will go here 4 times, 2 will go here 3 times. So we have succeeded in reducing the fraction to 4 over 3. So it's going to be minus 4 over 3 with the accurate sign, knowing fully well that plus divide minus is minus. So we are there. It is simple. This is what we call simple equation. It doesn't go beyond this. Just know the question, the way it is initially. Then you know the numbers you are moving cross and passing equality sign. When you are able to do that, you know the way it's changing, where it was before and where you are taking it to. If it's crossing, you must know that the sign must change. That is just the principle. It doesn't change any time, any day. So thank you for being with us on this video. We'll have other videos on the foundation in mathematics as well. As you continue to be with us on this channel, you'll get to know more about mathematics and the foundation of how to build your career in mathematics at this early stage. Thank you very much. God bless you.